Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through!
Greeting time travelers and visitors from distant galaxies, and welcome to Fumble Through!
Fumble Through!
A podcast that suffers from an unfortunate case of Klingons around the exhaust port.
Oh.
It is so nice to be here in the Fumble Factory because today we are going to be doing some things we haven't done before. Firstly, for those of you with keen elvish hearing out there, you may have noticed that we have done the impossible. We have travelled in time and are destined to repeat ourselves. Last week, I got a little confused and messed up the release date of the episode. I even doubled down and made a thing about calendar events, and I'm a little cut up about it, but hey, what better way to celebrate World Goth Day?
No.
What? Last week, we said it was the 22nd last week. Isn't this one released on the 22nd?
This is released on the 29th.
You texted me and
Yeah.
told me that the last one was released.
When have I ever
on the
been
15th,
reliable? When I am
our
fake
other brother's
news. Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
my-
I think that was because I was looking at. I'm in 3 different episodes at any week at any
'Cause you're
point.
editing all the episodes. I mean, we do these live, so when you're listening to this, we're not driving to work right now. Anyway, it's what
29th of May. It'll be a Monday.
Okay, so
Happy Monday!
hey guys, we have travelled in time to the future.
Oh.
Yeah, about 5 seconds after I fucked up again. Anyway, the second thing that we are doing, which we have never done before.
My recommendation is take last week's episode and wait a week.
Like a doctor, sleep on it. Take 2 and I'll call you in the morning. Anyway, something that we also have never done before, and it's not, as he keeps pleading, being nice to Lindsay, but rather inviting someone else into the Fumble Factory to share in the joy. And you can't put down the boulder of induction now, mate, but can we say a big hello to Frank, who will be joining us?
I think his official name is Brewmaster Franciscus of the Fumbling Alehouse.
Oh,
As you'll have remembered him from episode 8 because he provided the beer on that occasion.
he did. So, Frank, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Brother Franciscus of the Fumbling Brew.
Sounds like a monk to me.
I love him already.
I love that we haven't let him say a word.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Frank.
letting it be
Come on,
more
Frank.
palatable, you know. So my name is actually Franciscus, but I do go by Frank.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually my birth name. believe it or not.
Franciscus.
Yes.
Wow.
And do you have a bald pate somewhere on your body? Like the Franciscus monk?
Wow, just straight on it.
No,
right?
nowhere at all. Hey.
Are you sure?
With a name like that, Frank, I think you can be inducted into this fraternity because we all share something in common. We were all bullied
Yeah.
on the way here today.
On the way.
By our
Bullied when I
wives.
got here.
My children.
That's right. So what brings you here tonight?
Beer, apparently. That's what I was told there was.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Yes, segue right
You
there.
asked him to say a little bit about himself and he got his first name out. That's it.
The end.
That's all you need. That's all
Yeah.
you need, guys.
So what do you do, Frank?
At the moment?
Yeah.
In terms of work, I used to work at a brewery, but now I do call center work, but not of choice, obviously, but yeah, whatever pays the
When you
bills.
say call center work, when I dial up certain call numbers in the middle of the day when the kids are out, are you perhaps at the other end of the phone? Because you have quite an ability to change your voice if you do.
You probably haven't talked to me on the
Right.
phone.
There's a lot of
Well,
heavy
at least I hope
breathing.
not.
A lot of heavy breathing involved.
Do you get paid by the minute?
No.
Because otherwise, Brett's got half a minute worth of pay for you.
Oh, yeah.
That's all it takes.
No, mainly IT related call center work. So I just take the calls, pass them on to technicians. Nothing too fancy about it.
That's
So
not
people
really
like
what
Lindsay.
I'm interested. Let's go back to the brewery.
I know.
That's the real thing. So I take the calls and then I lodge them. But tell us more about tell us more about the brewing. So you made us some beer a little while ago. I believe it was a beetroot beer.
That's correct. I actually made you guys 2 beers.
How do you make a beetroot beer? We tried to figure that out.
I saw
during
pictures of the beer in the making, and it was a blood red. And
Yes,
then we got,
it was an amazing
So
color.
what
and I
do you
wish you
do?
could have seen it.
Talk us through the process.
So, put beetroot in it.
But in what? Like you get water and put beetroot. What are you doing?
So essentially, I've just sterilized the beetroot in some 75-degree water, I'd say, for 15 minutes, and then I just put it straight into the fermenter with the beer.
like actual big chunks of
just
beetroot or the
just,
beetroot juice?
I got like a attachment on my food processor. Just slice it up, put it in a bag, put it in the
Whizzed it?
fermenter.
And
Yeah,
what
Like
do you,
just pulped it up and stuff?
just slices. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
what do you
it
do with
turned
the
like a-
rest of the Big Mac?
with a big bag.
So you...
What do you
So
get
you-
a Big Mac with beetroot, Brett?
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Aussie burger?
now
Aussie
now that
burger.
I know there's sliced beetroot in what we drank, what happens then?
It's not in the bottle when it comes out. You know?
I get
No,
well,
no chunks
parts
of
it
beetroot in the
were.
bottle, but
What were those blood clot?
So how do you get from that to beer? Is there some kind of gauze
Brett's
involved?
just fucking ruined it for me now.
came out when I peed it.
Oh,
I heard the word blood clot.
yeah. No, done.
Kept moving on.
so essentially it got into
Well done for
the
playing
beer
three.
from put it in a mesh bag when I put it in. So
Yeah.
essentially strains it when it gets it.
So
Gets
like
pulled
a
out.
tea
So,
bag,
yeah,
yeah.
so like
Yeah.
a tea bag, yeah,
Yeah.
essentially. So it's like a cheesecloth almost, but it's made for beer brewing
Yeah,
and
let's do
stuff like
cheese
that.
cloth.
So.
That's much better.
Okay.
Cheesecloth is way better.
Or layman terms, keep it down low.
All right.
Nice.
What was the other beer?
Yeah, you said 2 beers.
Yeah, you guys
Lindsay,
had 2
we
of
saw
my
one
beers.
beer.
hang on,
I
hang
heard
on,
the
hang on,
very
sorry.
first beer he brought us was the Hawaiian one, remember?
So can I
Yeah.
just cry back to the beetroot
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the cheese? Did it lose mass? Is
Um,
it broken down in the process?
I was so surprised because it came out like a pale pink and it was
Oh.
like so weird.
The slices?
Yeah, they came out
Oh.
pale pink because I just released
Just leached.
all that color and
Was it just
flavor into
almost
it.
the fiber of the actual vegetable that was left more than anything?
It wasn't fiber; it was like solid chunks of it. It was insane.
I'm
Actually,
intrigued
I
by
was.
Yeah.
I
How did it
actually have a
taste?
picture of it. I'll show you guys
What,
at some point.
what does it do to the fermenting? Like, how do you have to change the fermenting process with something like? Is there enough of that additive that you then have to change what you do to make beer? Because it was delicious.
I would say you wouldn't really have to change much. It's just find a time in the fermentation process where to put it. That's what I reckon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you do it differently if you? Would you?
Probably try and reduce oxygen a bit more because I think that's what caused the color issues when it got to you guys. Because I was hoping it would be that beautiful pink color you saw in the pictures, but
yeah.
when it got to you guys, it was more or less that yellowy color.
So when you
No.
bottled it, it was a different color.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
so you think
it
it
was pink
It
when I bottled
oxidized.
it.
Do you think in the
wow.
bottle?
Yeah.
Did you? That's what happened. It oxidized. Or?
Yeah, I think because it was an open transfer and stuff like that, oxygen just got in and
Introduced.
caused it to change the color.
Is
I'm
that like
think-
a pH tester? Is that like what? Is that why it would change color?
It's
You're
a chemical
scientist.
reaction. The
so. I
oxidation
think
of it
it's-
would do when you
yeah.
introduce the oxygen is what he's talking about. Yeah, but that would cause a color change, but not to do with pH. though.
Okay.
I don't think. I don't know. I'm
I don't-
talking like I know what I'm on about.
Well, you are.
I'm a biology
science-
teacher,
you
not
are
a chemistry
See,
science
that was actually my guess because I know oxygen affects beer in many different ways, especially after fermentation. Because it can affect flavors, like it can affect it can dull hop aroma if it gets in contact with the beer after you ferment it.
Okay.
So if you have like a really hoppy IPA, you bottle it and get a crap ton of oxygen into the bottle, it's not going to be hoppy IPA anymore. It's just
Oh,
going to be like a
interesting.
regular pale ale, just because
Ooh.
that
Okay, so more
oxygen's really
oxygen is
affected.
what I
Yeah.
need in my beers.
So if you use a decanter, like
Yeah.
a wine decanter, when you pour your
But
beer
wouldn't it be
through,
flat?
probably.
It would have to go flat.
It's a process that takes a bit of time, so you wouldn't immediately, like when you open the bottle, it doesn't immediately affect flavor. It's just more of a thing of, you let it introduce in a mix with the beer over time, and it's sealed in that container.
Yeah,
it just
it's reacting in
It
the
just
bottle.
reacts
Yeah.
completely. So
I'm really interested in this. However, Frank has mentioned call center, fishnet stockings, and oxygen deprivation, so my mind is somewhere else.
And tea bags.
I think I need to get to the beer rather than talk about the beer. Maybe
Yeah.
we can do this conversation while we have one.
yeah.
But
All right.
do your
That sounds great.
other things first.
Lindsay, go.
Oh, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can send us dicey questions on there, like this one from
Okay.
a guy that looks like a thumb.
That was the most polite handover to Lindsay you've done so far.
Yeah.
Ready to go? No, I've done nice ones before. I don't like them.
This is one for you, Justin, because
Okay.
I don't think anyone else cares. How many reps of the 50s on dumbbell bench press can everyone do?
Of the 50s
Yep.
and dumbbells.
Yep.
50 kilos.
I don't know. 50s, I'm assuming 50
Are
kilos.
we doing
50
inclines,
kilogram
declines?
dumbbells?
Yeah.
Can you even pick them up?
No.
No, I was going to say, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to.
It's beyond me.
Hmm.
I don't think I could do.
How about you go on, Lindsay? How many you reckon you can do?
I have 0 dumbbells, so none. I don't go to a gym. Does the access to dumbbells needed?
Yeah.
I have no access to dumbbells, so 0.
50 pound dumbbells I can do. I've done them.
What's the difference between 50 pounds and 50 kilos?
50
What's
pounds
pounds
is
and kilos?
it's about half, so it's about 25-ish. It's about 26 point something kilos. I only know this because my gym has
Yeah, that's still quite
pound section
substantial.
and kilo section.
Still quite substantial.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty strong. Look at me.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, I'm buff as.
I mean, I only have to lift it once when I go to the toilet, but I know I can do 1 rep.
I was
Are
thinking
you
about how to
talking-
get a joke like that in
Yeah.
there, and I was like, I'll stuff it up. if I
He's
try.
talking about his stomach.
If I'm going to pull my pants on, at least I know I can pull 50 kilos.
He's got to tuck it under his belt.
But I'm sure I'll get another message saying we're idiots and 50s are something else, but I don't know.
50s.
They didn't mean the ear at all, anything like that.
Yeah.
Just lift that
Is that
entire.
like no scoping 360s is the same thing?
I was thinking about 40s. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I can
well,
drink.
if you think about 40 ounces, then I can think of something else that comes in at 50 that is very different. And I've lifted none of those in my time
Well,
on record.
come August, I'll come in at 50.
Ooh.
Why, is it Dimity's birthday?
Oh, far out.
Well played.
Don't know how to feel about that.
For Frank's confusion.
Get a beer, please.
Didn't use his
I
wife.
have no
Yeah.
Frank.
context clue what's happening.
Frank, first one in, last one out. Go get the beer.
Sure thing.
I'll get him. I'll get him. You said- Frank, you said that.
Frank did a wonderful thing. He brought beer.
Yeah, well, Lindsay, well, one of you guys go get it. Frank can tell us what we're about to
Frank
enjoy.
also brought glasses.
Ooh.
And he said to me, the glasses that I got weren't too bad, except
Oh,
not enough oxygen. Right? Is that
Not,
right?
not what I said. I said it's not good for the nose.
okay. Now, have you have explained to Frank my problem right now, haven't you?
Yes, I have been told the situation.
The situation of me still not drinking alcohol at the moment. And I must say that I'm disappointed because I stopped drinking alcohol. You have a ginger beer that I'm envious of. And then we bring a brewer into the room and I just get to watch you. Like, when you hear us drink
Fumble brew.
beer and we describe it, does it make you angry? The way we describe it?
It actually surprisingly doesn't. I'm actually pretty happy with most of the descriptions. I think you guys do a pretty decent job.
Okay.
Except for Lindsay hating it every time.
I don't hate it. I'm just not. I'm just not.
You're just not a beer guy.
It's not a beer guy.
no.
Not a
I
beer
just
guy.
don't know. You know, I've defined my palate with whiskey by drinking bottles of it a week.
Just burnt out.
That's what Parenthood does here.
Burnt a niche into it. Have you ever tried brewing? Like, do you brew ginger beers? Do you brew ciders? Do you brew anything else?
I'm
brew?
planning on doing that in the future. I just haven't got around to working out how I'll do that.
Okay. And as a former brewer, do you have a big brew kit right now? Like, what's your setup?
A bit of a personal question.
So a bit of a not a personal question. So at the moment I have a 35-liter semi-automated setup, I suppose.
Ooh.
It's
I've got a 35 litre semi.
Fuck.
I can't get the joke in quick
Oh, fucking hell.
He was off mic too, and he still got it in. That's what she said.
Poor Mike.
Okay. We love you, Mike.
Yeah, what's a semi-automated setup?
so essentially it's what it's called in the biz is the Brewzilla.
Okay.
So it's a piece of it's essentially a big stainless steel pot with a electric element on the bottom
Okay.
with a pump built in so you can recirculate.
That's what I cook curry in.
Yeah, essentially you can make a 35-litre curry if you want to.
Ooh.
Consider it. You can do sous vide in it as well. You know,
What's sous vide?
so
What-
it's
what? You don't know what sous vide is?
No.
so you vacuum seal food in a bag and then you put it in warm water, like a regulated temperature for a long amount of time, and it cooks.
She's also that Asian girl in grade 9.
It's a very good way to cook chicken to keep it moist.
Yeah.
And obviously have it cooked all the way through evenly.
You can keep it cooked for hours and hours and hours without burning it, and then just brown it at the end, and it's perfectly
That's
cooked.
nice. Yeah.
So when I say semi-automated, I mean it has Bluetooth functionality. You can add thermometers, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. You can add thermometer, like external thermometers.
feeling lonely. I better dial in and see if it's okay.
Yeah, that's why he works in a call center.
So essentially, it allows you to build temperature profiles for specific styles of beer.
That's cool.
So essentially, you
What does that mean to be cool?
Oh, temperature profiles. So, like, obviously, you find that when you're brewing,
Yeah.
a certain temperature profile produces a very unique flavor. You can reproduce that temperature profile.
Let me handle this.
I think you'll find that it's a
Yeah,
chemical process to brew some beer, and if you do it in the correct formulaic
Why is
manner,
Frank talking?
I can get nitty gritty on this. So essentially, different temperatures produce different amounts of sugar breakdown in the malt.
And then alcohol content?
Yeah, so depending on the amount of which sugar, you get more alcohol. That's why stouts, they can be higher alcohol, but depending on the temperature, they can just be sweeter because of what we call the body of the beer.
Okay.
So you often will hear full body, mid body, or light body. Like most pale ales are light body, stouts are high body. Because they've hit these different temperatures during the mash, or essentially this step of temperature control. Yeah.
I think you'll find that given the size of my body, the temperature profile is going to be pretty stinky by the end of this on the
that's
nose.
There is a lot of mash
Yeah,
involved in that as well.
So Frank's brought in a white stout, a Zitho Brewing white stout.
It's very privileged, by the way.
It's kind of got the flash symbol on it, but double down. It's all the Z's. Frank, you want to talk us through this one, or do you want me to do the can read?
So you probably heard of a regular stout.
Yeah.
So it's your typical dark beer. I decided to bring something a bit different, so a white stout. And I saw this one on the shelf, and I had to grab it because you don't see a white stout.
So I'm going to shout out to Zitho Brewing. They're a great beer, a brewery, and they're local, I believe, aren't they?
They're local and independent.
1.5 standard drinks on this one.
Lebanese glasses.
Yeah, so and it says Zitho Brewing was inspired by the term zithophile. I think we've had one of these beers before. Forget everything you thought you knew about stout. This beer, whilst light in colour, comes with all of the roasty and toasty complexity you would expect from a classic dark
Doesn't
stout.
look anything like a
Shut
stout.
the front door. Is there a trick to pouring it?
I'd say so. The trick is you aim for 10 millimeters of foam or head on the beer.
I thought he was going to say, the
fuck
trick
that up.
is you aim for the cup.
So you can pour it however you like, but if you get more or less than that 10 mil, you fucked up. That's essentially
I
the
fucked
bottom line of it. Yeah.
How do you pour it to get 10 mil though? Like down the side of the glass? Is that the thing?
Down the side on an angle. Essentially feel it. So if you think there's too much
Oh my God, that
carbonation coming up,
smells amazing.
Doesn't it just?
Where does one purchase these things?
I got this at Dan Murphy's.
Okay, perfect.
And these look like a limited run, I believe.
Luke's
so
face
you
says
might not be able to
everything.
get it.
Wait, hold that pose, Luke, because I'm taking a picture of that
Grab your
face.
glass.
That is,
That is delicious. Sorry, I've jumped the gun, guys. That is amazing.
Screw you with your 10 mil.
oh, that's Brett. You did
Yeah, that's actually pretty good, Brett.
He did a thing where he swished it around and everything like that. He did like a
didn't
whole
realise
wine drinking thing.
The trick for a brewer was to be the first one to drink your beer.
He wasn't. Sorry.
Yeah, he really wasn't.
Look who wanted to beat me today. So
You smelled it.
So what I've been told is that aroma is half your flavor. So if you're not smelling it, you're not tasting it.
It's beautiful.
So that's why I
smells so
grab
good.
these glasses rather than those glasses because you can't get
FFS coming up.
you can't get your nose in them. That's the problem.
So for people who are listening, the difference in glasses, the ones that Brett have look like wine glasses a little bit, and we have mentioned this. These look like the big
Brandy snifters.
tornado kind of cups, or brandy snifters is a
Yeah.
better way. They're a lot wider.
I'm just smelling it. I
Just
don't know
get
what-
on it, man.
I have no
Honestly.
idea.
Yeah.
feel free, indulge in the smells, you know.
Here, I'm breaking my rule and I am
get
having a
fucked.
give me a sip.
How good is that?
I'm going to say what
I've broken them.
the one thing I can taste.
That is-
and I'm going to see if I haven't read the can. I wasn't listening to Brett when he talks like most times. Vanilla?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. So, but it's so kind of light. It doesn't look like
Yeah.
a stout. It looks like a lager. And then you drink it and it's got this fullness to it. It's got depth to it. Am I saying the right words, Frank? Am I saying the right words?
That's it.
You haven't read the can yet. Someone's got to read the can.
I read
Frank?
the can.
Oh,
I did.
you?
We were just ignoring him.
I did it all for the listeners, not for you, because
Looky.
you can
I could
lead,
drink
you can
that all
lead
night.
a horse to water, but there's beer in the fridge. So
So what makes, sorry, I've said this already, what makes it a stout?
So it's essentially the stout characteristic. So it's light in color, but it's developed that full body through the brew process or the mash process. And then they've also amped up the toasty, roasty flavors of the stout.
The toasty, roasty flavor.
Through smoked malts, barrel aging. Like they just add barrel wood to it. They can, enhance those stout flavors, but
I'm adding wood
not
to it.
actually making it dark at all. So it's actually... I'm trying to keep it
I
straight
found a
face.
new favorite drink, guys.
This is
I'm
so
sorry.
good.
This is the
It
best thing I've
smells-
had.
limited
It
time.
smells
It's that-
amazing.
well,
I had a little
you drink
taste
it and
of
you
it.
go, oh, that's great. And then you just breathe, like get like the when you breathe afterwards, I don't know what that's called,
I'm not touching that.
but it fills your
Stop
person.
pointing at Brett's dick.
All right. Well, so just for our listeners, this is both the Fumble Brew and the Dicey Question today because we are Dicey questioning Frank about beer. It's what do we not know about beer?
Yeah, give us some
Everything.
facts about beer that we might not know.
Bit fact.
Beer fact.
With Francesco.
Brother.
Oh.
Francisco. I'm not sure if it's a well-known fact or lesser-known fact, but beer is the foundation of society.
Well, hang on a second now. I thought it was maths.
Triangles.
Is it? No, we're fucked. Tell me more.
So why do you think we started more modern-style agriculture? To cultivate grain, to cultivate beer.
And is that to drink or have safe drinking fluid?
Safe drinking water. It's, people like the alcohol. It's actually nutritious.
So you could
It's
put shitty water in this and it would purify it.
The fermentation process should actually. It is your show. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm happy for you to go in. I'm happy for you to go in more in depth, but
Look at my gear as well.
Well, that's why what Guinness originally made Guinness as heavy as it was the water that he's using was crap from the river.
Straight out of the Thames.
yeah. So you can.
Does it purify?
I wouldn't say purify, but the alcohol certainly helps in killing most bacteria in.
Stops water
The
from going
liquid?
stagnant.
If you got muddy water, I don't think it's going to do
No.
much.
But like you can strain that shit out with, your cheesecloth
yeah,
or
exactly.
whatever, and
You-
people would have been able to do
No,
that.
it's stagnant. So stagnant water on ships, for example. So when they
Yeah.
used to do long sea voyages, they would
Yeah.
put alcoholic
Grog.
That's the origin of grog.
yeah, because it stops it from
stopped the
stagnating.
bacteria.
And lemonade as well, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Scurvy,
with
the
the scurvy,
vitamin C
vitamin C.
deficiency.
Yeah.
They find,
Was it because it stops the bacteria growing in it because of the alcohol content? Is
Yeah,
that-
pretty much. The minor bit of alcohol, the yeast kind of fights out other microbials as well. And then, if you also take
Oh,
into
I've
account,
experienced that before.
if you also take into account the hops, because the hops is actually antimicrobial as well. So that was why it was popular as a flavoring and as like a preservative for the beer.
Nice.
So,
but am I right in understanding that it was much lower in the alcohol content back in those days? Than,
Yeah,
like, what
essentially.
we're really going
because
hard
we're,
now
we,
for the.
we're really spoiled these days. We have what we call modified grains, so
Okay.
we can extract a lot more sugar content from malt and various other.
Cool.
All right, I've got a
grains.
question.
Yep.
How do you get the bubbles in the beer?
It's all the yeast. So the yeast, another byproduct besides the alcohol, is that they fart or poop CO2.
So it's
Well-
just yeast farts.
Farts, or I suppose you can say it's them decomposing when they
It's-
die.
That's not better.
Yeah, I know it's not much better, but yeast dice go on your beer to make it all fizzy and yum.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
that
claim
sourdough starter.
No yeast was harmed in the making of this beer. They all died.
Yep, they all died.
Does the yeast that you use change? Like, do you have specific, like sourdough, like we were just talking, like, do you have, like, I only use this yeast, or this is a yeast that I've had for 20 years that I've kept a piece and then made more yeast? Like,
Yeah, there's so what we call strains of yeast, because beer yeast and bread yeast are the same species.
Mhm.
So what we need is different strains, so different genetic characteristics. So bread, more CO2, more leaveness for bread and whatnot. Then you got beer strains, which are more alcohol focused. So pump out as much alcohol as possible. Maybe they want some other flavors. So you got like generational yeast, like what we call farmhouse yeast. So they're very popular in Scandinavia and whatnot. And they give
the farmhouse yeast. Yes,
they're a mix of the regular yeast, another strain which gives like a wild strain which gives funkier flavors. They like to say funky is the go-to word for it. I hear it all the time. It's
I've certainly had some funky flavours around some yeast before myself.
Let that one open, eh?
can I just take this moment to congratulate Lindsay, because we got an expert onto the show and we all acted like fucking dickheads who know everything. And Lindsay kept his mouth shut. So well done, Lindsay.
No worries.
I didn't.
Yeah, we all did.
I certainly did.
I didn't say I knew anything about
Frank
it.
knows stuff. We acted like we knew stuff. And Lindsay didn't say anything.
I'm pretty
I already knew Frank knew stuff. That was why.
pretty sure if you go back to the tape, I acted like I didn't know stuff.
You looked very surprising about your pants when we were talking about yeast.
Well, you know, you
We
grow
all know.
what you grow.
We all know in the intro, I'm a lot quieter, and then once we start the game, you know, J.R. Lockwood takes over my body, and you know,
My body changes.
things happen.
If there were three things you would look for in a beer, Frank, three things that you go, that makes a good beer, what would it be?
Three things that make good beer.
Yeah.
What I think. No, I'm joking. Sorry.
Well, I think
What I think you mean to say there, Frank, is
wet.
Well, a good first step is smelling and not being repulsed.
which leads us on to one of the reasons Frank's here is we talked to him about Old Man Yells at Cloud, Old Wives' Ales. Now, we were quite harsh on this beer a while ago. It's the only beer that we went, sorry, that's not drinkable.
It is actually the only one, eh?
Yeah.
I drank it.
We have been very, yes, that's what I'm talking
This is
about.
why I don't drink. That was actually one of the nights I decided I needed to take some time off alcohol. When I strained that out of the sink after you poured it in there.
Well, yeah, getting the straw down that drain was really, really good. I think it was a double Nipah last time. When I bought that one, I also bought a Nipah, which I had still in the fridge and was too scared to open.
Is this the Nipah?
This is the
single
Nipah.
Nipah.
Not the double Nipah.
Not the double. So we tasted the double and it was double shit. What I've said to Frank was, come, let's try some Old Wives' Ales. You can tell us if we are shit or if the beer is
don't
shit.
do that now. The
So-
beer that we've got, it's nice.
Yes. So given how good this beer is, I'm going to suggest at the end of the game today, during the closing credits, we crack the Old Wives' Ales and we taste it then rather than now, because you're right. This is such a beautiful beer. Zytho, I don't know how you say your name.
1.5 standard drinks that
But you've done-
Luke has almost finished already, Lindsay.
It
I'm
reminds.
surprised how quick it's gone.
There are 4 cans of Old Man Yells at
yeah.
Cloud on the table if you like it, Luke.
That'll grind me to a halt.
Yeah. Luke's going to be asleep in about 20 minutes from now.
No.
He's
No,
going to be
there's another 4-pack. We'll keep going.
the old man yells at a microphone.
So that was me interrupting when you were saying number 1 was it doesn't repulse you when you smell a beer. 2 and 3, good beers.
The two other things that make a beer.
Yeah. A good beer. Like when you know that people like, I want to go and I want to sound like I know what I'm talking about, not just what's cheap and it'll get me hammered.
Justin.
So, okay. So what should I be talking about that would convince a brewer such as yourself that I might know something?
Because I remember going on a wine tour and I was told if you ever really want to sound like you know what you're talking about with wine, add the phrases freshly cut or freshly picked before you say said fruit or flower.
Like looking at art and you say, "Ooh, it's an existential mass."
I'd say if you wanted to seem knowledgeable, there's a fair few like really keen like brewing flavor terms because you want to identify hop flavor versus malt flavor a lot of the time.
Oh, okay.
And then also target yeast flavors because they actually impart their own flavors.
So
like I was saying.
describe this. Like, how would you describe this in terms of hop versus malt?
So very low aromatic, so near to none, but I'd say it's got that slight bitterness to take it up as a stout. But yeah, it's very malt forward.
Malt forward.
Versus.
Forward.
So
Okay.
I like a malt forward
Yes.
beer, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was the other one that you said? Malt versus hop and what was the other?
So yeast.
Yeasty.
Because the yeast can impart its own flavor. That's why we were talking about, or at least
Funky.
I was talking about, funkiness.
Yeah.
Can be crisp, like your lagers, like they're very clean and like.
So a
just
yeasty
smooth.
beer is very clean, like a pale, no, a super dry or something like that. They're very yeasty, are they?
Not very yeasty. It's just the way they've been conditioned with the yeast, and they have specific strains as well. So they produce what we call a crisp, clean. So very like just cut. It's hard. It's one of the hardest things to explain to someone.
So do it now.
To an idiot,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
This is almost a
To a bunch
podcast in
of
itself.
of morons who are looking at you drooling
While
and
they're drinking.
and salivating.
So,
Luke continues
yeasty
to
beers,
pump
are they
his
like
fist.
lagers?
So I wouldn't say a lager is yeasty. So lager is because the yeast has detracted so much from the beer and then been separated out. So that's why they're considered very crisp, very clean.
Right. So that's more hopsy? Is it malt forward?
I wouldn't say more hopsy.
What do you say?
I'd say it's
So if you're going the three flavors are hops, malt, and yeast, right? That's what you got in the beer.
Yeah.
Denoting a lager from an ale, from a stout. How do you kind of mix those? What are those flavors
So-
doing?
so your pale ales, your regular ales, they'll tend to have more hop, malt flavor in general.
So you're like an ale there, Luke.
Yeah. But
With
whereas
more hop.
so lagers, they produce a very, I hate to say it, bland sort of interpretation of that. That's why they're
Right.
considered clean because they just cut out some of the
There's not much
They're
to
not-
them.
they're in the middle.
Yeah, they're in
They're
the
right
middle,
in the
so they
middle.
cut out a lot of the
Yeah.
other flavors. So you don't get too much hop. It's there to be bitter enough, to be flavorful enough, but then you also cut out some of that malt, so it's cleaner, it's crisper.
It's just the beer necessities.
Yeah,
Just the beer necessity?
just the beer necessities.
That's good. I like that. Write that down.
And because in Australia we live in a hotter climate.
You're so proud of
When
yourself,
we,
Hardy's laughing at his own fucking joke.
He's got beetroot
He
ale.
looks at the beetroot.
I was
It was actually referenced. I was laughing more at that because it was a joke you made recently in another external thing, and it just kind of.
I appreciated that too.
So where I was going, anyway, yeah, because we're in a hotter climate in Australia, that we tend to like something that'll be more refreshing, and that also works with lagers because they refresh us. But then we also have the temperature factor that helps us condition these beers. That's why they became very popular. We could get them very cold to start them off, but then with lagers you warm them up quite warm as well afterwards, and this really it's called a process of cold lagering, and then it cleans out the yeast out of the beer essentially. And that gives it those crisp flavors, cuts out a lot of the malt and hoppy
Okay.
flavors. Yeah.
That's very cool.
I have one last question because we do need to get back to it.
Yeah,
again.
we need to.
This is a question.
I was thinking we need to do like a tasting session.
Yeah, but very
then
much so.
we should get
Very
a
much
paddle
so.
and drink some
Oh
beers.
yes.
Yeah.
That would be brilliant.
My question for you, Frank, and this is a question that really I think has polarized a lot of people at this table. Should beer be chilled, Luke?
Why?
Because you're English.
Depends.
What? We chill our beer. Why? You're talking
Just
like
leave it on the doorstep.
Second World War now.
Should it be chilled, Frank? Just is yes or no?
Depends. Different styles work better at different temperatures.
Oh,
I'll sit here
what
with
temperature should
my warm beer,
Oh,
my
no, there's
fucked
too
up
much
teeth,
in this. I know. I want to get into
bad body odor, right?
There is too much
That's
into
not the
that.
answer you're after.
No, but generally, what's the temperature range of beer that should be kept at?
So lighter beers, you typically want to go for 2 to 4 degrees. That's the perfect serving temperature, 2 to 4 degrees.
Holy. Yep.
Yep. So
that's
nice and cold,
yeah.
and cold and crisp. You go stouts, more darker end of things. You want to go closer to a 10 degrees.
Ooh.
Okay.
Stouts and porters. They're ideal at 10 degrees.
Really?
Like
I'm
like a bit warmer.
surprised.
Yeah.
I'm actually very surprised.
That was
at
a flippant question where I learned something.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever learnt more on this podcast than I have in the last half an hour.
That's
And
because
that-
you're not self-reflective.
No, I think it says a lot about the three of you.
Well, I think this whole experience has been
I
made
have one more question.
the large glasses
as
as
well.
well.
Jedi, part of the clone army.
That is a throwback. Oh,
But legitimate.
So yeah, beer, warm or cold, and there you go.
Interesting.
Right back at you.
Interesting.
Where do you
Please note,
stand?
he didn't say the generals of the clone army. What are they? He said Jedi first. I'm just putting that out there. If they really
That's a
were
fair
part
point,
of it,
actually.
you wouldn't have had to clarify who they were.
Where do you stand on this issue where Justin's got
This
it
is a
so
setup. I have a
wrong?
feeling this is going to go one way.
So ask the question again. I want to make sure I've got this right.
It's a trap.
He wants to know whether you believe that Jedi are part of the clone army.
And by asking that question, the underlying question is Justin a fuckwit?
I mean, the answer to that is very clear.
So they're not part of the clone army in terms of being clones, but they are generals in the ranks of the clone army as part of the Republic.
So they're part of the clone army then?
Yes, but they're not clones.
We know, yeah.
Sorry, can we just distill
That's
that?
what I want
Is
to
Justin
clarify.
right or wrong?
He's always wrong.
Right, cool.
Always wrong.
So angry right now.
So where we last left off,
Thank you. Okay.
J.R. Lockwood and that were getting ready to leave.
Oh, we've been descended down to and that.
the Stonebirds.
J.R. Lockwood and the Stonebirds, the immortal Stonebirds. I think we're going to change our name to.
Immortal.
Yeah,
Immortal.
the immortal Stonebirds.
We are, yeah.
We're getting ready to leave Logan's Lodge, but JR has written a small ditty.
Logan's Lodge.
Logan's Lodge.
Is he fucking up again?
I think it's Logan's Run.
No?
Falcons Lodge.
runner.
But JR's written a small ditty to commemorate the events of the previous day. Pling. In a forest that was both deep and dark, 3 heroes embarked on a quest. Bling. To rid the land of Enkeg's mark and put their might to the test. Bling. With fire and axes at the ready, they ventured forth with brave intent. Bling. Their hearts were steady, their nerves unsteady as they approached the Enkeg's nest. Yes, I rhymed steady with steady.
Really steady and unsteady.
Yeah, you know.
Get
The
get
battle
ready.
was fierce and long as the Yankegs emerged from the ground. Their venomous stings were strong, but the heroes held their ground. Yes, I rhymed ground to ground.
You're doing really good.
Yep.
Your thesaurus is getting a workout.
They fought with all their might and vanquished the Yankegs one by one, but the victory was bittersweet that night as they mourned the same loggers who were all gone. Bling.
Well done.
That was beautiful. That was
So
beautiful.
much bling from now on, we shall call him MC J.R. Lockwood.
touches.
So where we left it last time, you were at Falcons Hunting Lodge. The night had descended upon you. You had planned on the morn to
We were taking
wake early.
Tybor home
Yep. You were on the way.
with Vincent Van Cow.
with Vincent Van Cow. So you're going to take Tybor home. Just for those of you that can't remember, Falcons Lodge, this is mainly for Frank. Falcons Lodge is a place in the middle of the Neverwinter Forest, which is a refuge for people to go. It's a hunting place for rich people. So travelers might come here and they get a free ride, but they become part of the commune a little bit, almost like they've joined the cult of Grundanar. But the other people that go there, they might pay. So, your rich echelons pay and Falcon takes them out hunting. As there is a dragon in the area at the moment, though, there aren't too many travelers who are willing to come and to pay for a stay at Falcon's Hunting Lodge. So it's really up to these wonderful adventurers to come in and... Frank's dropped some stuff. It's really up to these adventurers to come here and to be part of the hunting lodge itself. The morning arrives. You hear the chickens, the roosters, the sun peeks through the trees in the middle of the Neverwinter woods. A mist descends around Falcon's hunting lodge as there is quite a bit of din outside.
Mm.
You hear voices. You hear the voice of Falcon. What is going on? I must hurry. And you can hear the other people that are also at Falcons Lodge. Someone seems to have arrived.
Can we take a little sneaky peek?
Yeah.
A sticky beak?
I'm not going to take a sneaky peek. I'm just going to waltz out there,
I think Morades had gone to bed early the night before. He'd gotten up early. He'd done his training exercises in the morning, as is his wont. And he would have just been strolling around looking for Corwin or Pell to have a little chat to see how things are, what the run of the... So that's where he'll be.
You can see Corwin at this point greeting. So as you walk outside, JR, the first thing you see is Corwin welcoming a figure, a tiny figure in stature, a halfling female to be exact. And as you look at her, you can see that one of her hands is missing, replaced with a metal stump. She's walking in. She looks a bit disheveled. She's got dirt on her face, some twigs intertwined in her hair that look like she's been traveling, and she looks a little bit weary at this point and a bit worn. You see Corwin bringing her a hot ale as Falcon is talking to her quietly. As you approach, Falcon puts his hand up as if to say, just stay back for a little while. It's okay.
Oh, does she need aid? I have healing abilities.
It is okay. We will make introductions at breakfast.
Okay, very well. Good night.
Odd thing to say in the morning.
Role played the
Well, you just
shit
said-
out of that.
Didn't you say it was the night before?
No, this is the morning of.
Oh, right.
The whole thing of the morning,
Oh,
and the
right.
sun rising through the trees of the Neverwinter.
Right.
Yeah.
Very well. Good morning.
A little bit of...
Does Falcon move off with her? Or is there a chance for Morades to grab him quietly and have a
No,
conversation?
Falcon is debriefing with her
Right.
at this point in time.
So Morades will realise, they've got business. He'll give them some space and move off to the breakfast hall.
Yeah. Sooner or later, Pell or Corwin would come and gather each of you in turn for breakfast. If you did, I know your intention was to get up early and to depart early. If you had those intentions, they would have said, look, Falcon, the master's asked you to stay behind if you wouldn't mind.
Of course, we'll
definitely stay for breakfast.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you walk out, and instead of the normal kind of breakfast, you see in front of you some wheat that has obviously been soaked overnight to make it soft, like a healthy pudding type
Porridge?
thing.
Birch muesli kind of thing.
Yeah, like a birch muesli type thing. And it is a cold thing, but you also see a map of the Neverwinter wood that has been spread over the table. And you can see Falcon sort of busily over this with this halfling figure. As they are talking, they kind of pause a bit as you walk in the room.
Can I make a perception or maybe an investigation check as to just a cursory glance at the
Yep.
map if I can spot anything on there that maybe is of interest?
from where you're walking into the room, like you approach the table a little bit more, and you can clearly see that it is the Neverwinter Wood. You can see Falcons Lodge is clearly marked on the map. You can see some other places. Phandalin is also marked on the map, and there's a whole heap of areas around. But you also see a trail that has recently been marked in ink, probably about 8 to 9 miles away, almost to the east.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome. Please sit. We need to talk.
Okay,
Meredith will sit down.
we will sit.
I would like to take this moment to introduce Ophelia. And he motions down at the small halfling. And Frank, I hope your improvisation skills are good. So see your character sheet.
Oh, yeah.
No pressure.
Okay. Ophelia.
Hey, Frank. Ophelia.
Ophelia has returned from the forest.
JR does a flourishing bow. Greetings, Ophelia. My name is JR Lockwood. This is Moradius and Nikron. Together we are JR and the Immortal Stonebirds.
It's a pleasure to meet you,
Cue power
Ophelia.
pose.
Up, left hand up. So right hand up. Oh, I always get that wrong. How are you, Ophelia? Pleasure to meet you.
I was in the middle of speaking.
Sorry, it's hard to tell sometimes.
Don't mind. I was introducing a character and trying to give Frank something to roleplay with.
You were just taking a very long time in between words.
It's all right. When I
and
edit
it's
it,
hard to tell.
When I edit, I'll take all those gaps out.
He's just going to sound like a weird robot.
He sounds like a weird robot now.
Ophelia has recently returned from a scouting mission to a place that we have become known as a manse in the forest. We call it the Woodland Manse. Seems there are orcs present in this manse, and I would like some help to rid them of this place close to Falcons Lodge. Yes, I have regrets about the voice I've chosen, okay?
I was just making sure you're finished.
The whole visual scene, like you can just see the characters around this guy as he's speaking, like kind of like leaning in, waiting for the end.
Trying very hard
That's
not
what,
to finish
that's
the
what makes
sentence.
him such a powerful character.
JR, he just wants to jump in. Yes, okay. Orcs, you say?
Yes, it seems. And Ophelia may be able to clarify this. There is an old wizard's tower in the woods that has been overrun. It seems, from what Ophelia says, that there are a band of orcs that have taken root in this old place.
Oh, is that right, Ophelia?
Wizard's Town, you say?
That is certainly right. There must be at least 10 or 15 orcs in that tower, but I can't say how many to be sure, but there could be more inside.
10 or 15? That's not too many.
It's child's play.
Yeah.
Can you give us a current report on the status of the tower, the area around it, entrance points, exit points, rally points?
Are you mimicking his character's voice?
No.
Okay, cool.
This is what I've always spoken like. This is my normal voice. I just don't have words right now because of the beer.
At that, he kind of moves over to you, and you guys are all sitting down eating the map, and
Yeah.
Falcon walks near you and puts his hand on your shoulder as you're speaking.
This is amazing.
And he says, please, she barely got out of there. She was chased by orcs and boars, you say.
Boars.
Yes, many wild pigs and boars and things like that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like JR over there.
Pigs and balls and pigs and balls.
Are you well? Were you injured, lady?
I barely made out alive. Luckily, I found a good healer. Otherwise, I would have been probably dead.
Oh. Well, as is the custom here, we should, of course, offer our arms to Mr. Lodge and help him take care of these orcs and boars.
Just 1 minute. We are definitely going to help you out. Can we, once we've cleared out these orcs, can we maybe have a conversation again about you helping us with the dragon problem?
Yes, this is most disturbing and one of the reasons why I do not feel safe leaving the lodge unattended. These orcs are a clear and present danger.
Very well. How far away is this manse? Woodland manse?
It must be at least 8 miles from here.
Okay. Tybor? Tybor?
Yeah, yes, and he kind of pulls out, he looks disheveled. He looks like he's been hiding all night. He's very shaky. Yeah, yes, I'm going to stay here. I'm not going with you.
No, I was going to tell you that. I was just going to say, make sure you help around here, do some chores to earn your keep.
But
This is not a luxury house.
Pell has been showing me that I could probably organize the stables a little better.
Yes, you could probably clean out the poo.
No, organize. I'm writing
Yes,
a list of
remove the poo.
things
Good
that
idea.
they have. But I shall be staying here.
Perhaps there's a backlog of taxes that you could get done.
We'll probably leave Vincent Van Cow here as well.
Oh, okay.
I also have no more need of these. I have outgrown them. Perhaps they could be of use to you. And he puts a set of boots upon the table, finely crafted. Those of you who are of a magical ilk immediately see that these have an aroma of magic.
It's very malt forward. I don't know what these are. Nykrin?
What would I be rolling for that?
Arcana, I imagine.
Arcana?
I rolled a 6.
Yeah, cool. Let's do some Arcana. Natural 20,
well
which gives
done.
me a 23 on the Arcana.
You're looking at the boots and you believe that they are somewhat of elven make, and you think they are magical. However, you would need to maybe attune yourself to them over the course of an hour or so. Whoever walks with them or puts them on needs to attune, but you have a feeling that these might be soft and good at moving in a quiet manner.
Okay.
While
Not the
they're
kind of
doing
thing
that-
not the kind of thing that would fit me there with my
Flying. With your
claw
flying.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just what we all do is move quietly.
While they're doing that, I'm just going to ask straight up.
See, just for a second, Frank, they bitch and moan that I give them nothing. I give them some boots of elven kind. What do? Bitch and moan. Oh, nobody can use those.
Oh, we can use them.
Yeah.
It's just,
Just maybe a hint of how you should approach the next little while. Just saying.
Guns
just
blazing.
saying. Yep, guns blazing.
Meridius,
Flying and shooting some fucking firebolts.
Just fine.
would you like to
Fucking
wear these
fine.
boots?
I was just going to ask Mr. Falcon Logan over here what the boots are, because he's had them for a while and
Oh,
can
yes.
probably tell us what they do and
a
what
good
they
point.
are. What they are.
Very smart of you, Meridius. Have a
I
gold
just
star.
told you what they are.
Using my knowledge arcana to ask the guy who owns them what they are.
These boots will aid you in walking quietly.
These boots are made for walking.
They
That's
are
just what they'll do.
great for sneaking up on an elk.
Just
or
like
a
I
bear.
did. Just like I
Or
did
a
with
cat.
the brewmaster. My character decided he knows better than the person.
Well, I'm quite stealthy already.
Yes, well,
I thought I would just choose to be. I don't often choose to be, but
They will resize to the
I know.
wearer.
But I was just thinking maybe Meridius might want to.
I do want them.
Yes.
Meridius does want them. He thinks they're a fine pair of shoes and will absolutely help in tactical advantage. He is totally confused about what this word attunement is. Can somebody articulate how that works?
So basically, you can have 3 attuned items at a time, I believe, and you have to have magic items attuned to you in 5th edition. That's the one thing they
What
don't.
does that mean?
It basically means you can't. There's certain magic items. You know how in Pathfinder there's wondrous items.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where you can only have X amount of these items.
okay,
So you only can have 3 attuned items at a time.
In order for you to actually make
Use
these
them.
work for you, you have so any item with power, and it's not just 3 because it depends on the item. So for example, with these boots, you need both of them to attune. You have to wear them. You have to live in them for a little while before they start working for you. Yeah,
So-
you can't just go, oh, I've got a ring of protection and give it to somebody
Just
else.
pass it around and
and
pass it
pass
around.
it around.
Pass it around. Can I, 2 questions for you, Justin.
Yes.
Can I hit the long rest button on my character sheet?
The long rest button or the short rest button?
We did an overnighter,
just
didn't we?
had
You did an overnighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, because that will get rid of an exhaustion level for me.
Great character.
What? And then can I have them and put them on and start attuning them? And is there any process?
Takes
for
about an
attuning?
hour.
You just wear them. You don't have to
Yeah.
roll. You don't.
By
Have
the
to,
time we're there, you should be
About
fine.
an hour.
Yeah, Ophelia, would you like to come with us, or are you going to be staying here?
I think I can see action again. Yes, I'd like to join you.
Okay, well, what are your skills?
Well, I'm quite stealthy on my own. I'm good with a short sword and crossbow.
That will do. So the way we usually go about it is Nykron flies around and shoots people from the sky, and then
Hello.
we just wait for them to get pissed
Hi.
off, and then they come towards us, and then Maradia steps in.
There's been a lot of times that I've spent unconscious with these guys.
And I heal and play the lute and fund this whole expedition.
And this is a conversation you have on your way to the Woodland Manse. You start journeying through and you find out a little bit about Ophelia. She shows you her attachments for her missing hand. She can attach a hand crossbow to that. Or some fleshlight tools.
weight.
No, I wasn't going to make it dirty at all
I just went straight for fleshlight, but there we go.
because I wouldn't do that. That's disgusting. You disgusting creature.
What do you need 2 flashlights for?
Disgusting.
It has other attachments.
And following a trail through the woods, you eventually come to a foggy clearing in the midst of which stands a crumbling 2-story manse, all but hidden beneath thorny ivy. A large house is set atop a 6-foot-high stone foundation, and the main entrance has a balcony above it. Pumpkins seem to grow wild in patches around the manse, with several wild boars feeding around them. Even from where you're standing, you can see there's probably almost a dozen, maybe. You know, it's hard to tell the exact number from where you are because they're wandering around through the thickets. But you can see probably the most amazing pumpkins that you've ever seen. They are bright orange. They are full, and they've been here for quite some time, apart from the ones that the boars have been eating. The boars seem to notice you a little bit and begin to snort, and you can see them sort of stare at you a little bit.
Hog roast. No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, try and chase them away. I don't want to have to kill them all. One for dinner and to bring back, and then just chase the others away. Is that something you can do?
Are these normal sized boars?
Yeah, they seem to be wild boars that have been attracted by the pumpkins that are outside. They don't seem to be a threat to you at all. They just seem to be in the pumpkin patch eating as a bit of flavor, if you would.
Why don't we just walk around them?
Sure, let's give that a go. But get ready for get ready for the pork roast. Hey, Nykron, you should start carrying me. what I'm missing.
He made a spit roast joke.
All right.
No, you said it, and Luke and I just went straight, locked eyes with eyebrows up, as if we were in a spit roast already.
Oh, boo. No.
Yes, look, can we just walk around them?
Yeah, let's give that a go.
Yeah. Ophelia, you would know this is where you got up to. So you got to about here before, the orcs seemed to spot you. There was some orc guards out here, and they chased you away, and they sort of herded the boars towards you. Like they scared them a little bit, made a bit of a noise, and the herd of boars is what sort of chased you into the forest, and you went
So
running.
they weaponized the boars against you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Nykron's going to take to the air.
Wait, take me with you. We've learned from watching the recent Dungeons and Dragons movie that an Arakruka can carry one person quite easily, but 2 not so much. Spoiler.
And you are half of one.
Yes.
Right. How am I going to have to work that with weight bearing?
You can't cast a spell then because it's somatic components.
Yep.
Well, can he hold me with his feet? He's got claws.
No.
Oh, whatever. Leave me here then. Party poopers.
If these balls were weaponized previously and could be danger at our backs,
Are you saying that them and the orcs have a collaboration?
take me with you.
Gladly.
Well, I'd say we shouldn't tumble with them, though.
So this is where you got to when there were orcs here. There are no orcs. Where were the sentries?
Those orcs spotted me way over there, pointing in a direction.
Excellent. All right. So we could reverse the tactic and weaponize the boars back.
Oh, like a stampede sort of situation.
Just hope they don't attack us first, you know?
Yeah. One of the abilities I have seen JR do is create a illusion of a thing. You could create a sound of a thing that scares them towards the orcs and create a bit of havoc, perhaps. Nothing like an enemy in disarray to assist with a attack plan. Don't have to do it now. We could scout first, but my experience is that always goes to shit and we would never get the surprise that we want.
Oh, Nycra wants to take to the air and have a eyeball of what's going on.
I'd say we should scout first and then plan our attack then.
Indeed.
I reckon the stampede could work, but we should plan ahead first.
Okay, I'll take to the air. Do I need perception or?
Okay, you take to the air and you do indeed see a 2-story house upon a 6-foot riser of a stone platform. This looked like it would have been a lovely house in its day, but it's gone to a bit of ruin. The house is covered in ivy. So imagine ivy has totally overgrown the entirety of the house all the way up. And the only exposed parts of the house seem to be the roofs. So the pitched roof. In one section or another, you can see that it's gone into a bit of disrepair, and even in a part of the north of the house, you can see there's a hole in the pitched roof of a small sort of courtyard that's near a chimney. You can also see in the very middle, so the house has actually got a big hole, like a courtyard in the internal of it. So you can fly all the way over the top, and even from where you are, you can see like a round kind of tower part, and then little bits that move off, and the whole thing surrounds a squarish courtyard in the middle. And from where you are, you can see the courtyard is overgrown with green as well. It looks like there's a well in there, and there's lots of vines that are coming out of the well.
No orcs though.
You can't see
movement.
No, you see the only movement that you see around the place is the animals outside.
Okay, I'll return to the party and explain what I have seen.
Was there any viewability through the holes in the roof?
Was there?
You would have to land on the roof to
one of the beautiful things about these sending stones is we can talk to you while you're doing it rather than the backwards and
I
forwards.
forgot
thing.
about the sending stone. Yes, quite right. I would have to.
I have not. I still have mine.
I need to land.
Oh shit!
Rather close.
It was actually.
I feel like I'm missing out on a conversation here. What's happening?
We gave it to Falcon, actually. Falcon had it.
I'm not a falcon. I'm an Arakukra for the last time. I would have to land. You want me to land?
I don't want to kick it off, as they say, but if you couldn't see anything through those holes, that's fine. But what it does tell us is they're all inside and nothing outside. Wooden or
if
brick.
they are indeed here.
Wooden or brick in that building?
It's wooden or brick, GM.
The roof seems to be wood shingled.
Shingled, you say?
Yeah, it's hard to see the other parts of it. It looks mostly wooden, but it's so overrun with ivy, it's hard to tell. Parts of it are stone, parts of it, it's
So all the roof is overrun with ivy?
Not the roof. So the roof
Right.
is the only part of it that
So I just
still
wondered if I went to land
remains
and make a
intact.
miscalculation, it's actually just ivy I'm landing on. I'm going to go straight through the roof. But
So no, you can definitely see that there are
Can
very
I
parts of conical roofs.
stealthily
and-
land near on a roof near a hole.
There's only one hole that you can.
Okay,
really
let's do it.
see.
Yeah, can I land there stealthily? Have I got to make a stealth check for that?
Okay, so you attempt to land. Yes, please. Just make a stealth check for me.
Stealth. No, that's slightly.
Now you're landing near the hole. Are you which part? So the roof. This part
near
of
enough
the
that I think I can hear anything going on in there.
This part of the roof is roughly about 15 foot wide. So 15 foot sort of north-south.
Sure.
And east-west, it's roughly about 30 foot wide. So it's a little part. Even from where the chimney is, you think this might be something to do with a kitchen or a servicey kind of place.
21 on a stealth check.
On a 21 stealth check, you land very, very quiet.
Almost like I'm wearing boots of elven kind.
Yeah, just make a percentile check for me. Please.
Percentile.
Yep.
Don't like the sound of that. 19.
A 19.
Yes.
You hear a creak from the roof, but otherwise it seems to be okay. Like you know, obviously it's old and it's.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah. So you hear like as you put your weight on it, kind of go as if some of the collapse has kind of made this a little less sturdy than it should be.
Good job. I've got
you can see
lightweight, but
inside the hole itself, you can see that birds have made nests upon parts of the inside. You can see like lots of scat from birds.
Lovely.
And like
can I admire the
nesting kind of
craftsmanship
stuff.
in the nests?
You, as in, you want to lay an egg?
No, baby. Can I hear anything now? Is there anything else in the
You
building?
hear nothing.
No, Clint, this is Moradius. Can you hear me,
Shh. There's nothing here. Just pipe down, will you? Gonna give me away.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. That hurts my ears so hard.
I'm wondering if the easiest way to defeat a dozen orcs is to burn them in the building they're in.
That's if they're here, Rocky. I'm not sure if they're here.
How about we start stealthing around these pigs and try and meet up with him? And he can keep watch.
You gotta stay on the roof and keep watch.
I'll nest down here.
Ophelia, how are you with the creepy? Can you sneak up with this, or do you want to stay here? What's the?
I'm very good at the creepy.
Yeah, yeah.
Quite right.
I'll be more than happy to sneak up with you, yes.
Did Falcon come?
No.
All right, so we sneak it on forward then.
We'll sneak around the pigs as much as we can.
We want to sneak all the way up to the tower if we can.
So you're going to sneak around to the very top. There is a little pathway that actually goes around to the north and comes back almost to where Nikron is on the roof. You can see that this pathway, while grown over, probably would have been maybe a service entrance or a place where people might have come for deliveries and stuff, but the whole wall is ivied over, so it's hard to see any windows, it's hard to see any doors, openings, crevices,
Service
anything
entrance.
like that. But you get the idea from just looking at it. There's a giant chimney on one side, and then the tower at the front of the sort of manse is there as well.
And no fire, no smoke, no sign of life.
No.
Okay.
No. Just give me an Arcana check as you're
Arcana.
walking, please. That is you, J.R. Lockwood.
6.
Yeah.
You're
So-
on fire.
Yeah. Weirdly, you
It's
are.
my
on fire.
Arcana.
That's
I'm
where the
not-
smoke's coming
I'm
from.
not super Arcana-y.
Yeah. All right. So what are you going to do? You move all the way up to the edge of the house. Just make
Stealthily.
some stealth checks for me to make sure that you are being as quiet as you want to be.
I get to roll advantage on that with these boots.
Are you attuned?
He would be
Cool.
by this point. A couple of hours have passed. So what did you get, Moradius?
19.
Ophelia?
19 also.
Oh,
Yeah. What about? Well, you're on top of
I'm
the
already
roof, so
good.
you don't. And J.R. Lockwood?
7.
7. So JR's singing a ditty on his way in. Sneaky. It's called the Sneaky song.
Going quiet.
Yeah.
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 Sneak.
Yeah.
Ophelia.
He stops and he says bling, and I rhyme sneaky with sneaky.
Ophelia,
Yes.
a dozen orcs have hidden themselves quite well here. We would surely have seen sign of them before. How did you come upon them? Being very quiet.
Sneak.
I know, they were just kind of there.
And then they chased you away.
That's right.
How did you see a dozen of them?
Well, they were here
Ah,
last time.
Okay.
Well, I tracked them here, and then the sentry saw me, and that's when I got ran away by the boars and...
Oh, maybe
orcs.
the boar, if we're lucky, maybe the boars ate the orcs.
How many boars were there?
There's roughly about 10. So you can't tell the exact number because they're moving around so much. You don't, and boars look the same. I don't want to be boorish, but boars look the same.
It's racist.
So it's hard to tell them apart. Thanks, Luke.
Yeah. Thanks, Luke.
Got you, brother.
Okay, come on, let's keep sneaking.
All right, just to be sure,
Sneaky.
orcs don't turn into boars, right?
Unless they're druid orcs.
Oh.
But no, pigs eat anything.
Okay.
Maybe they just ate them.
Okay.
Just nom nom nom.
We're sneaking on forward then as we go.
Sneak.
You two
Sneaky
are.
sneak.
Yep, and you're there.
We're here.
We'll do an investigate check at the base of the wizard's tower.
So what are you doing?
quietly.
So like you've gone around. Maraudis says like you guys. This group has gone to the north. You've
Wow.
gone to meet Nikron on the roof. Nikron's on the roof.
If you would listen to what Brett was just about to say, you would hear what we're about to do.
I don't know. All I can hear is pumpkins and fucking boars over and over again. I have taken parts of the description and I'm focusing on that. Not the giant house that's there, the boars and the pumpkins. So, yes, you've got Nikron on the roof above you.
Yeah.
You guys have hit their wall full of ivy.
Doing an investigate check at the base of the tower.
Wall full of ivy.
No way into the tower?
Not that you can see, as aforementioned. There is no evidence of windows. There's no
pathways
evidence.
that lead up to
It
a
is
door.
so thickly covered in ivy. There is nothing that you can see. Like you would have to literally spend hours removing ivy from the house in order to see under it.
Okay.
Well, Ophelia, it seems like your tracking skills are less than expert. Let's turn back and go home. Job done.
Can I cast detect magic?
You certainly can.
Okay, let's go.
The pumpkins
Things we're focusing on.
glow magical.
The pumpkins.
Yes.
How many are there?
They are scattered all around. You would see 20 to 30 pumpkins all around the place, and they have an aura about them, a magical aura about them.
Have they walked past the pumpkins yet?
Yeah, there's pumpkins everywhere.
Okay.
Literally, this place is a pumpkin surrounded by a pumpkin patch.
Guys, the pumpkins are looking a little suspicious. They're emanating magic.
Magic pumpkins. That sounds like some sort of fairy tale.
I know. It's actually a workshop for carriages. It's just in disguise.
Yes. How ludicrous.
So what kind of magic? What does it
I'm
do?
not sure. It's just pinging off. I just cast a simple spell for detect magic, and the pumpkins, not the boars, surprisingly, are emanating.
Yeah,
some-
transmutation.
Apparently, this just in. It's transmutation.
Which means it changes things.
Yes.
It's a bit beyond my pay grade and not the sort of thing that I usually dabble in.
Right.
Yes. Means that something has changed.
Okay. I'm not super into the magic. I dabble, obviously. What would you suggest we do? Because I have my own ideas, but they might
You
not.
know me, JR. I'm happy to send a firebolt over to one of them at any time.
Well, you know what I say. You know what they say, right? You know what happens when they drop a pumpkin? Squash.
You want me to grab a pumpkin?
No, I mean, if you want, but firebolt it. That sounds like a good idea. One away from us, if possible, in case it explodes. Or turns you into a
Yeah.
turtle or something. I could do vicious mockery on one, but I don't think that would vary too much.
Let's just say.
All right. Are you staying where you are? Like, just so that you know, there is a front doorstep with some stairs that lead up into a balcony, also ivy covered, but a little balcony that goes in. But you can't see that from the air because it's from the front part of it. Are you staying where you are? Are you moving to the front door? Are you staying on the roof? Are
I'm
you going
staying
to
on the
move
roof,
down? Are you going to car? Yeah.
I'm
cast
not
your spell.
inclined to go inside a building at this time.
Okay.
So
So
that's not my jam.
yeah, or pumpkin soup. You cast your firebolt at a pumpkin.
Whoa. We were doing that, are we? Cool. Okay. Yeah. We talked about it. Let's do it. Okay.
Meridius is staying at the doorstep of the house, not wanting to go near a pumpkin at all.
Okay, so you're staying sort of at the wall underneath where Nikron is. As a group, you're still staying where you are. Nikron, what are you doing?
On the roof, I'm casting Firebolt at the nearest pumpkin.
Okay, you hit
For
the pumpkin
11.
with a firebolt that goes to 11. I'm imagining that you get a roast pumpkin almost immediately that splits the pumpkin open, so it cooks it. You see it char grill almost on the outside, and the pumpkin just splits open as a normal pumpkin would.
Oh, that smells delicious.
Nothing extraordinary happens. It acts exactly the way a pumpkin would act in this situation.
Is it still magical now that it is off the vine?
Is it still magical now that it's off the vine?
It's still, yes.
Hey,
Interesting.
I'm going to go up to the door where this door is. Meridius, can you come help me pull down these vines, or are you a bit...
Those vines will take a long time to take down. We can start. Happy to start.
There is a front door, an opening front door that you saw.
So earlier when we said we walk around looking for an entrance...
You never said you walk into it. I'm just gonna go back to the description that I said. The large house is set atop a 6-foot high stone foundation, and the main entrance has a balcony above it.
You should get Justin to edit this one so he can feel like an idiot when we
Pumpkins
say
grow in
no way
wild
in,
patches.
and he goes, yes, no way in.
I never said there's no way in from this section where you are standing.
We make our way to the front door.
Okay, which is not anywhere near where Nikron is.
Yes.
So Nikron is at the back of the building on top of a thing. Remember, this adventure is not written for flying characters.
We make our way to our front door. Nikon, we're going to go check out that front door. Are you wanting to accompany us?
I'll stay.
Just keep us within 160 foot range,
120,
please.
120 range.
Sorry,
yes.
120.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
Okay.
160 would be ludicrous.
As I am simple and thoroughly don't understand anything, can you explain what the fuck's going on to
We
me?
are going to the fucking
They're
front
going
door.
to the front door, and I'm just keeping watch.
So you're
within
staying.
120 foot
You're
range.
staying on top of the roof that's got a hole in it,
Flying around at 120 feet.
Is that roof within
and you're
120
leaving
foot
the
of the door?
pumpkins alone.
Leave the pumpkins.
We're leaving the boars alone.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, and we're walking to the front door.
Yes.
Okay, just so I know.
We're not going to go randomly eat pumpkins or attack boars when we don't need to.
All right.
Maybe the balls
So
will
you
eat the
move
pumpkin.
over to a set of stairs that are inside of the there. There's stone steps that climb to a portico with a stone balcony that overhangs it at a height of about 10 feet. Vines wrap around the balcony, support pillars, and you can see a crumbling stone railing that the vines have also wrapped themselves around. The ground floor entrance has a giant double door with the carving of a boar's head that is crudely carved into it. Looks like it has been done more recently than the rest of this building. So the boar's head looks like somebody's taken to it with a knife recently and carved like this very crude boar's image into the front door.
Perhaps somebody lives here.
Maybe.
I would suggest a knock and announce rather than a kick and breach and enter.
Allow me. Hello? Nope, no one here. Breach.
Allow me. Open the door.
Okay. You start moving up to the front door. I need an athletics check just so that you can get up to the balcony, please.
Is it a climbing thing?
Yeah.
Okay. 21 on my athletics check.
Yep, that's perfect. You get up there avoiding sort of all of the din. It's just the crumbling stairs and stuff
Yep.
that make it a little hard to get up and down onto the
Do
balcony.
I get a sense that the vines are holding the structure together?
No.
Okay.
No, they are just invasive.
Yep.
It has just been here for so long that the vines have taken over a little bit. You get all the way up to the double doors, which are free of the ivy, and they open.
I'm just going to give them one knock one last time before walking in.
Mm-hmm.
Knock, knock, knock. Hello?
I'm going to go start following him.
Okay.
Anybody here?
And you walk in after announcing yourselves into the den of orcs.
We don't know that there are orcs here and there are no signs of orcs here.
Wow. How does that make you feel, Ophelia?
Hang on.
As the scout.
There's a lot of orcs in there, is there?
I don't know.
I believe we should be a bit more careful in case there are orcs around or something else. I'm not sure about those pumpkins.
I just know when we went to that lady in the windmill's house and tried to walk in
Yes,
unannounced,
exactly.
it went poorly.
You leave the decision makings to us, Ophelia. We've been here for many of these things, and this is the DM's fault for being really confusing with what he wants us to do.
Let us have it. Just let us have it.
So angry right now. Okay, so you open the door, and the first thing that you see is an undecorated hall which features a creaky and mouldy wooden staircase in front of you. Otherwise, the hallway, which is about 15 foot, goes down for about 25 feet. There is a door immediately to your left, which would go up into a towery or a circular room. There's an opening straight ahead of you, and there is another opening to your right that looks like it has some ivy covered, but it goes into that sort of courtyard kind of area in front of
It's
you.
still no signs of tracks or...
Nothing that you've seen, no.
Except the door was clear, and there was carved pigs.
Yes.
Which I think the carved pig was another clever attempt from the GM to make us like the pigs. But,
We will start to explore the tower.
Okay, so you move immediately to your left. The door to this parlor, as it is, has been smashed to pieces, and you can see that the room is strewn with broken furniture. The remains of chairs, side tables, even a wine cabinet are all sort of smashed around the place. A mouldy circular rug covers most of the stone floor of this circular chamber, which is roughly about 15 foot in diameter. And you can tell that to Nikron, who's still flying outside. If you
Only orcs create this kind of wanton destruction without any kind of reason.
It's true. It does seem like Ophelia's right, but there's orcs being here or are present. But,
Not for some time, though.
What are the boars doing? What are the boars doing?
just eating pumpkins and milling around.
Sweet. They're eating the pumpkins.
Yeah.
The magic pumpkins.
They're chewing on the grass and the greens, and as boars would do, they're kind of just doing boar stuff.
I'd suggest a room by room. Check your corners.
Well, do you want to come in, Nycred?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, it's good. We should always have someone carry on the party.
Ophelia, weapons out.
Yes.
At the back, please. JR
I
behind
always
me.
have my weapon out.
Oh. Hello. And we'll walk through the tower door by door, just checking
Okay, so you
room by room.
move back into that corridor. You can either go up the stairs, you can try and clear out some of the ivy to get into the courtyard. It's a little less thick on this side, and it's certainly not to the extent as it is on the external walls, or you can go straight ahead on this level. So you can either go upstairs or straight ahead on this level if you don't want to go through the ivy.
We're going to stay on the inside of the tower. The outside's been checked by Nikron, and we'll check level by level before we go upstairs.
Yep. So you move into the next door, into the next room ahead of you. As you walk into the next area, it's clearly at one point in time some kind of dining room. The walls are covered with crude drawings in blood that depict boars chasing stick figure humanoids. A fireplace dominates the south side of this room, and a smashed wooden dining table lies in a heap in the eastern half of the room, surrounded by chairs that look like they've been thrown there and that they have just sort of sat there. And as you're kind of looking at it, the two of you especially, just make a perception check. Sorry, Ophelia, you're kind of out of this one.
I am rolling terribly today.
I'm not rolling well. 7 for Maradius.
Yep. And what did you get right there?
8.
Okay, JR gets a 7 and an 8. Great, the most perceptive of characters. What you do notice is on the mantle of the fireplace, you see twigs that seem to have been tied together in bundles in kind of effigies of people. And as you get closer to those, you notice that one of them is blue. And it's kind of weird. So it seems to have been painted or dipped or something like made into a blue color. One of them is kind of a smaller than the others, as if a child, and the other one is quite larger. And you get nearer and you notice the blue one looks like a bird man, and the smaller one does not seem to be a child after all. It seems to be some type of halfling type creature, and you can see that there's a musical instrument that is strapped to its back, or someone has actually fashioned that, and you can see another one with a pack full of small wooden axes that are tied together that look like a larger kind of angrier looking thing, and they're just sitting on top of the mantle.
It would appear we are known, JR.
I've seen this play before.
This is creeping
Finally,
me
we are
out.
famous.
Yeah.
Tell me where you are, Nightcrane.
In the air, waving my wings like I just don't care. I can rhyme.
We need a detect magic down in here.
Oh, it's a trap. Okay,
It's very
cool. I'll come down and join them. I'll do a detect magic.
Yep. So you fly into the room. You don't have to do the acrobatics check that they needed to do, or get the hand up that Moradius did for everyone else. You walk through the entrance, past the stairway, and into this dining room.
Lovely.
Now, at this point, I'm just going to put this out there. You guys haven't really told me that you're doing this in a stealthy-ish type fashion. So I'm not really taking it that you're taking super amounts after knocking on the door.
Correct.
That you are going as quietly as.
Let us have it, Justin.
I'm just making sure
It's all
that
good.
I'm correct
correct. I
there.
think
That
we
we're not using
came
the
in-
boots of elven kind.
Well, I don't make noise when I walk, when I wear them, but that doesn't mean I'm not being silent.
Okay.
They do squeak a little bit, or
The weapons squeak. The shoes are fine.
Right. So, yes, you walk in. What are you going to do, Nightcrane?
So do I need to do a detect magic, or can I do like an arcana on the little effigies, or?
So, describe what no, you walk into that room as
Yep.
described, with the remains of furniture, the remains of
Yep.
tables. Upon the mantle of the fireplace, you can see these 3 effigies of small kind of stick bundles of stick creatures.
Is that supposed to be us?
we believe so, because that little one's dashingly handsome, and that one's blue and bird-like.
But not Ophelia, so perhaps been here for some time. Is that paint wet on the blue one?
I don't know.
I'm not touching it.
I'll go up and
Let's do can I do another detect magic in this room?
As soon as you do that, you see
So as I do it,
J.R. Lockwood touch one of the effigies, the blue effigy, just to see whether the
paint's wet.
is wet. And as you do, it comes to life. The stick creature moves for the very first time. All 3 of them come to life. And at that point, initiatives, please.
Oh, goody, it's a show.
congratulations, you're a father or a mother. I don't know.
And no time for laughing. This is magical
Dr.
bullshit.
Jones.
This come good, funnily,
Well,
Lindsay?
I rolled a 1, and as a halfling, I get to re-roll 1s.
Oh, you
I
do.
re-rolled a natural 20.
There's nothing out of Ophelia over there. She's very
Okay.
quiet.
Ophelia, what did you get for your initiative, please?
Got a 14.
14.
What's your-
Moradius.
Hang on, what's your initiative score? You rolled a 14 and you got initiative.
Dexterity.
Dex.
Add your
Dex,
dexterity to that. Sorry, I forgot to ask, Frank, have you played this game before?
Yes.
Because there are some rules to it that Luke doesn't know, so I don't know what he's trying to tell you.
I think Frank knows the rules.
Yeah, I think Frank.
I've in fact
I
DM'd
assumed
before, so
Yeah, I assumed Frank knew what he was doing. So
Got well, like he knew about brewing. Fucking hell.
yeah, that's why Luke was trying to tell you how to brew. He was just mansplaining it to you. Moradius, what did you get?
I got a 12.
Okay, Nightcrane.
22.
Fuck. J.R. Lockwood.
23.
Oh,
I was about to call you Geradius then for a second, for no beknownst reason to myself. Nightcrane, you go second after J.R. Lockwood. J.R., you touch these sticks, they start moving.
Okay. Hello, stick people.
You gonna do anything?
No.
in the words of my good friend JR, stick it to them.
I'll try vicious mockery, because that will teach me a lot, actually. It's a cantrip.
Okay, so all 3 of them have started moving. Which one are you going to target? Well, let's call them Sticky Nightcrane, Sticky Moradius, and Sticky Lockwood.
I'm going to target Sticky Moradius.
Okay, so you target Sticky Moradius.
What's brown and sticky?
Shit.
Yes. I
Could have done a real sticks and stones joke there. That would have been great.
We'll save, please.
Mm-hmm.
If it can be
That is going to be an 18.
It passes. Oh.
Okay.
Not bad for a stick.
All right. That brings us to, is that all you're going to do?
That's it.
Yep. Nykren, what are you going to do?
Actually,
So you've seen, as soon as this has happened, all three of these creatures kind of and started sort of
How big are
moving around. They're small. They're small in stature. So
like figure.
yeah,
so-
like probably a bit bigger. We're talking like a
Cabbage Patch Doll?
bigger than that. What are those
Chucky.
things like Chucky? Yeah, like what are the things you put your hand in and
Puppets.
yeah. What am I trying to think of?
ventriloquist.
Say that
Puppet.
word.
Ventriloquist dummy.
marionette doll. Yeah, that's
That
that's
was a
the
weird
word.
moment. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah. No. Thanks, Frank, for not understanding what my hands
I know what you
clicking
Didn't
together
encourage, didn't
meant.
encourage it.
Yeah.
That's even what a marionette does.
Some type of puppet.
It's like this.
Yeah. So a couple of feet.
I'll do another detect magic. What's going on?
hmm So you cast detect magic. You detect nothing magical.
Nothing magical.
No, just the boots that are on Meredius's feet.
They look great.
Yeah,
My hat.
that is the only new magical thing that you
Okay.
have detected,
Okay.
other than the normal stuff that you've got.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing. These things certainly do not detect magic.
Okay.
You doing anything else?
No.
No, Ophelia. That brings us to you. What's the lovely Ophelia going to be doing?
So they appear to be hostile, I suppose.
Yeah, they've come to life and they've sort of they definitely look high style,
Hostile.
higher style.
They're high style.
Yeah, one's blue.
JR's pretty high style.
Yeah, they definitely look hostile.
Good fashion sense. So seeing that immediately come to life, probably. So Ophelia, in a sense, to be try and be a bit tactical, would try and move back
Yep.
and then engage with her hand crossbow.
Oh, okay. So you're going to fire a hand crossbow into which one in particular? The one that looks like a bird, the halfling,
Shoot the blue one.
or the blue one that is right in front of J.R. Lockwood.
The wooden blue one I just point out, right?
Yeah, not the feathery one. 19. Ooh, actually, 24 to hit.
24 is definitely going to strike true. Your tiny bolt hits this creature in its center mass, doing how much damage?
6 damage.
6 points of damage. You see, like part of the creature, the bolt is forceful enough that part of the creature actually breaks apart and falls to the floor in a bundle of sticks. So it kind of, it's all over the place like a weird nest, and it is motionless at that point.
It could have been worse. You could have made it stronger by giving it a new stick.
You're feeding it, damn it!
Just like to say, Frank restrained himself when I said bundle of sticks. Then
Yes.
that brings us down to Meredius. What are you going to do?
Meredius is going to take the cue from Ophelia. It's
Mhm.
good tactical sense to retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Get away from these magical abominations. Let's move. And yes, look at my calves as I walk away. He's going to move back in line with Ophelia and chuck a javelin at the Meredius looking one because it's an affront to his sense of
Sure.
self.
Okay.
He misses.
Oh, misses. You see a javelin strike the wall and off the stone of the fireplace. That brings us down to the two creatures that are left. You see,
so one down, is it?
One's down. It's
Oh.
just like that hand bolt just split it in apart, and all the sticks went flying everywhere. The two that are left, the small J.R. Lockwood, the small Meredius, both seeing one person that is closer to the others because the big guys moved back, are both going to move towards you, J.R. Lockwood. They move across the top of the mantle of the fireplace, and both of them jump towards you, attacking you. Okay. The Meredius version of this little stick doll is going to attempt to claw you with an 18, and your little effigy is just an 8.
The 18 will hit.
The 18 hits you, and it scratches you across your beautiful J.R. Lockwood face for 4 points of damage, piercing damage to be precise, as sticks
4
just come out
points.
and grab you.
Ow, fuck you, Meredius stick.
Yeah.
Don't call me a what?
That brings us to the top of the next round. J.R. Lockwood, it is your go.
I'm going to draw out my rapier.
Yep.
And I'm going to take a strike at Meridia Stick.
Okay. Be very careful saying that.
10. Oh, no. I'm going to say 10 because I don't know if I add Dex to a light weapon in this game. 10.
Okay. What would it be if you added Dex?
13.
I do believe you actually do add Dex.
Well, then
to this
13.
Game. 13 is enough that you end up piercing one of the creatures. The Moradius creature, I believe you said, right? Yeah. You really stick it to him.
1 point of damage.
1 point
You
of
really did
damage.
stick-
And then I move back.
Okay, and then you withdraw or you move back?
I've
Or
actioned, so.
yeah, so that's what I'm trying to garner here, because knowing that they would get an opportunity attack
true.
if you move back. So
Okay, I won't move back. I'll try and scout around. Can I move to the side so I've only got one attacking me?
they're both on the same wherever you.
Okay, I stay where I am then.
Yeah, it's not going to make too much of a difference no matter where you are. They're going to be able to get on you. All right. That Nikron 22.
Is there a way I can move up next to JR and not include him in a 15-foot cone that's going to get both of the wooden effigies?
Yeah, I guess so. Yes.
Okay, let's do that then. And I will need a dexterity save for you, DC 13.
Okay. The first one is an 11 and the second one is a 10. I also am rolling just like normal.
Oh, fuck me, that was terrible. 3d6 of damage, and it was a total of 6.
6 points of damage.
Yeah.
These things immediately catch fire. You see them move for a moment, and then the sticks on fire kind of break apart on the floor and start scorching the wood around you, just because you have created some fires. Because what spell was that you used?
Burning hands, baby!
Yeah, because you created, like, you're burning hands some sticks, they catch on fire a little bit, which
Correct.
is actually a moment where you guys are looking around this room with all the broken furniture in here. It is dry, it is easy, and probably is going to require a couple of actions for you guys to stamp out the fire that's in here. Which you don't need to roll, but you just, for the
That's great.
next
stand
moments
hands
or
on hips at that
you're
point.
kind of stamping
chuffed.
and stomping on
If the threat is
embers and
abated,
stuff,
Moradius will put out the fires.
as both creatures, perish.
Combust.
What the hell was that?
Sticks.
Bloody affront.
But you also find yourself in a room. There is a clear door, one to the north and one to the south next to the fireplace. The door to the south goes into that courtyard area, and to the north it is an internal door that leads into another room.
Before we go on, can we make any knowledge checks to see what they were now that we've fought them?
Yep.
What do you want? Nature, arcane, arcana?
It'll be a knowledge nature.
Ooh.
14?
Wait, I got better than that.
Oh, okay.
19.
You think that creature is something called a twig blight.
Twig blight.
Mm.
Oh, there's these things called twig blights.
What the hell is going
You've
on?
heard of those. They're small plants that are evil in nature and attack people.
Why on earth do they look like us?
I guess they probably try and take the form of someone, to try and blend in, but are really shit at it.
Fans of yours?
Maybe.
Can we do a search of the room before we move on?
My fans are quite wooden.
Yep.
Search the room.
Okay, just make a perceptoring check, please.
No.
Anyone who wants to search can do this.
22.
You got it.
You did
Nat
that.
20.
Oh,
Oh.
you got it.
Okay. What does that give you with a nat 20?
21.
I think you should have a good search skill in there. I think you've got something, because it should be more than that, because I think you add your proficiency bonus
it's
to it, which should
investigation,
be
is
plus
it?
2. It's an
So
investigation.
it's a intelligence plus proficiency if you've got a skill in it.
So it'll be 24 then.
Yep, 24.
Yep.
You're kind of moving around the room and you pull out an object and everyone sees it and kind of goes, oh, what's that? And then you rub it with your sleeve and it turns into a beautiful silver candelabra.
Ooh. Ophelia in the
You found treasure.
study with the candelabra.
Yeah.
It's pretty. Put it in your pack. Let's carry on.
You found treasure. Yep. Which way are you going? North or south? North internal, south into the courtyard.
Leaving the courtyard alone, we saw nothing in there. You saw nothing in there, right?
There's nothing in the court.
Let's stay inside,
Except plants.
door by door.
And so we saw magical plants outside, and we were attacked by plants in here. Starting to sense a theme.
Mhm.
Just our theory, but
You hold on to that.
okay. Up the stairs we go then, I guess.
And you move into the room northwards, not up the stairs.
sorry,
you
north.
jump so far ahead that's not even in this room. Nature seems to have run roughshod over this old kitchen whose furnishings are wholly decayed. You can see that there is definitely a door here, which would be the other side of where you guys have approached the building, but it seems to have been broken years ago. However, the ivy is so thick in that area that it is almost covering, and it's probably a bigger portal cover than if a door was still there.
Quick search of the room.
Just make an investigation check. And from here, there is there's a fireplace in this room, as a kitchen would have one, and there is another door that you've got leading to the west.
18 on my investigate.
18 turns up nothing. Any other investigation checks that are worth note?
No.
Not higher than that.
Sadly, no.
Nope.
No. Okay. Nothing is uncovered with that investigation check. So you can either go back into the dining room, or you can move to the west into another room, which seems to have a door that's intact between it.
To the west, but we're going to open the door carefully and quietly
Okay. Just make.
after upturning all the pots and pans in this room.
Who is making the door opening check?
Let me do it.
Okay. Please roll for stealth.
Stealth, you say. Natural 20 on the first roll.
Okay, perfect. The door opens. It's a little bit jammed, so it takes a little bit of your strength, but you're strong enough that it's not too bad for you. Much of the roof above this chamber has collapsed, leaving debris scattered across the floor. You can see birds have made nests on the wooden shelves that have lined what looks like maybe it was a pantry years ago. Rats have long devoured anything that could be useful, or mold, or it's all decayed or rotted away, leaving shelves that are bowed or rotting, but with bird kind of droppings and nests and bird sign through it. The roof above, as you're looking at it, Nikron, is where you think you're on top of the roof.
Yes.
Did you detect magic through here?
I was detecting magic on the roof when the pumpkins pinged.
Mhm.
Would that have picked up what's in the
Yeah,
courtyard?
it would have gone in, not in the courtyard, but in this room.
Yeah.
A quick search through the pantry just to make sure nothing.
Yeah, even looking at it, it's like bird. Like you're looking at a pigeon's nest, basically.
It's like your bloody
glorified
bedroom,
pigeon's
Nikron.
nest. Just make
When I was a teenager.
make an investigations check for me. A lot
17.
less shit.
Nope.
No, JR, what about you, Nikron?
15.
Ophelia?
So 21.
21. Turns up nothing. So you guys find anything of use in this room is probably long gone or taken or rotted away.
Is it the only place now up to the stairs or out to the courtyard?
The only place is to go back, go up the stairs or into the
We're
courtyard.
going to stay inside and go up the stairs. And Meredith is kind of leading on this kind of door by door, search by search, making sure he's at point.
Okay, so you're heading to the stairs. Okay.
Were they off the dining room?
No, they're off the very first
Off the
hallway.
sitting
room. No, off the hallway that you first came into. So as soon as you open the door, you can either go through into the sitting room or up the stairs.
Let's go there.
Okay, and you start moving up to the staircase, which climbs about 10 foot onto the next level. Can you please give me a dexterity check? Because as you step on the stairs, you hear a creak, a crunch, a crash, and the stairs begin giving way.
14 for Nikron.
Not you, just
sorry.
Maradius, who's walking up the stairs.
16.
A 16. You narrowly avoid falling into a bed of wooden spikes that somebody seems to have planted below this rickety set of stairs.
Bloody thing's trapped.
How bad and that they were, and you're looking at the spikes themselves, and they look like sticks that have been not carved, but just sharp sticks that have been placed here in the ground, looking upwards. They don't look like they look intentional, but they don't look like the sticks have actually been cut
Perhaps
into a place.
Grown that way. Do they look like they're grown?
They don't look like they've been grown here, but
Right.
yeah.
And been here for a while?
They look like they've been here for a little while, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watch your step. That's a trap, shitty trap, but a trap nonetheless, and that could do you some damage.
And as you move forward and upward, we zoom out from the manse and have a look at the beautiful Neverwinter Woods where nature has taken its toll. And I'd really encourage the world to go out and see some nature. And speaking of unnatural things, you better crack that beer because we said we were going to do this at the end of the episode. So
This is not exactly the same one that we had.
This is a single, just a Nipper, not a double Nipper. So half as bad as the last one.
Okay, so here we go. The outro music, please, and pour away. I want to hear what
man
Frank
yells at clouds.
Frank, give us your real-time reactions to this, to the color, to the. I don't think it is a different color.
Oh, it is lighter. It's
much
not.
lighter.
The other one was Simpsons coloured yellow.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't that. Yeah, no, that's pretty similar. It looks like
Great
Pasito or something, right?
It does.
It doesn't look good.
How we going there, Frank? Tell us what you think.
Right off the nose, like super hop. So yeah, you can tell that's New England style for you. With the Nippers.
Oh yeah, I can smell it.
Admiral Niba.
It hops forward. This one.
It can hop out the fucking door, really.
Frank's face is telling a story.
I can concur that it's still as shit as the last one.
So I wouldn't call it shit. It is
It's worse
just
than
very, like Brett said, very hop forward, essentially.
Oh, he was being a dick when he said that
It's
too.
super bitter.
Yes, but
Is that the hops?
Yes.
Right. And the very unpleasantness, is that the hops too?
I'd say so.
Is that just the
Do you
style
like
of it? Or?
Yes. Likes the strong word, but it's definitely not bad.
Do you understand it?
Yes, I understand it.
Right. Okay.
Is that because you have a more refined palate than we do? Is that why you have a tolerance to it?
Probably
because,
me.
or is it the style of beer that we just didn't expect?
Probably more beer attuned, I'd say, but
He spent more than an hour. Is it bitter for like a long time on the sides of your tongue in those bitters?
So it's just the aromatic bitterness like that initially comes in, and then it just turns into you just get that nice floral sense.
Don't use the word nice.
Well, good news for you. As a parting gift, you've got 2 more to take home with you.
Well, and are you driving?
No.
What was up?
two more for the road, one more for in here.
That guys, it was similarly shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. But there is an audience for it, and it's not us.
Always preference, eh?
Someone's attuned.